Hello, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Homeopathy Super Sessions by Dr. Jarkos. Today, I'll be doing the last part of the part 3 of the observations of the 3 current methods of treatment. Well, so the third point is treatment of the cause. So we have seen treatment of the name of the disease, we have seen treatment of the symptoms, and now the treatment of the cause. It is founded on the internal essence of the disease. So the cause is in homeopathy is nothing about it deals with the internal essence of the disease. For practical purposes, you can divide into two general classes of the disease. So for practical purposes, you can divide it into two parts. The first part is having a visibly simple material cause, and second part, disease having an immaterial dynamic cause. So let us see something about disease which have a material cause and disease which have a dynamic cause. So the first class, that is the disease having an obvious simple material cause, such as a splinter stuck in the finger, a stone swallowed, or concretion in the biliary ducts, or the bladder, etc. So for such class of treatment, the indication is obvious. That is what? It consists in the removal of the material cause, be that mechanical, be it merely chemical, or a mixture of both. So in the first class of disease, where the disease of a material cause in origin, you have to remove the obstacle to cure. If a splinter is stuck in the finger, or if a bile stone is there, you have to remove it. This generally suffices to effect a cure, provided no considerable destruction of the organ has occurred. So he says that this generally suffices to effect a cure, provided the destruction of the organ has not taken place. However, the cause is not of much importance to be considered as of now. The mode of curing the second class of disease is of its importance to us. That is, the disease which are considered for the immaterial dynamic cause come under a broad heading, mainly acute, subacute, and chronic, along with the numerous ailments, indisposition, and abnormal states. So in the second class of disease, whereby you are getting an immaterial dynamic cause, you can again describe it into, or rather you can again divide it into three heads, that is acute, subacute, and chronic. And also, you can also say about the indisposition and abnormal states. It is the natural tendency of the human mind to seek for the exciting cause of the phenomena. So, the human mind, the natural tendency is always to find out the exciting cause of whatever phenomena is exhibited. We must try not to attribute the cause unnecessarily to the disease phenomena. So that means Hahnemann reminds us that you cannot possibly attribute a cause to the disease phenomena. When only a cause is actually present, you can do it. When not, you cannot unnecessarily try to attribute it that this cause may be because of this phenomenon. We must not consider the cause-effect relationship, but we should infer correctly in order to effect cure. So we must not consider the cause-effect relationship, but you have to infer correctly what is the exact cause of the disease. Thus, in the second class of disease, we know the dynamic cause even by the name. The physicians of the old school would always find out the material cause and attribute it to the disease. So Dr. Hahnemann is again comparing it to the old school of treatment, saying that the old school of physicians would always try to find out the material cause of the disease. They assign an exciting cause for every perceptible alteration in the health. So what would the old school of physicians do? They would assign, or they would find out an exciting cause for all the alterations which take place in the healthy state. They imagined that they could penetrate even into the internal essence of disease and cure them. So they imagined that with their remedies, once they found out the exciting cause, they could penetrate deep into the organism, even in the internal essence of the disease, and cure them. This is impossible, that the essential nature of most of the dynamic causes derived from without can ever be assigned. There are varieties of exciting causes, but they actually do not cause the disease. So out here, Dr. Hahnemann says that you are getting a variety of exciting causes, but actually they may not cause the disease. Why? Because Dr. Hahnemann says that importance has to be given to the miasmatic background. So the miasm present within it is responsible for the disease to manifest. So in homeopathy, when the dynamic cause of disease is there, the exciting cause, if present, fine, it can be attributed, but you cannot purposefully try and label that this exciting cause was there, which was responsible for this disease. However, the main cause is the miasm. The essential nature is quite beyond the reach of our senses. The true remedies will never be learned from what the school can teach us regarding the exciting causes. So the true remedies will never be learned from the different schools of thought which would regard the exciting causes. The remedies have been discovered by mere accident, by unpremedicated experience. Thus, the internal cause of disease will never be ascertained. So, whatever remedies the old school have done, they have done it by a mere accident or a mere hearsay, and they thought a particular medicine was useful for a particular type of disease. So, therefore, the internal cause of disease would never be ascertained by the old school. So the internal cause is what? The miasm. The old school does not distinguish between palliative and curative remedies. He's of the opinion that palliative remedies have a direct opposite action to the state of the malady. At first, they substitute the symptoms for a few hours and later on produce an opposite state. Examples of diseases arising from and attended by debility, opium is given. So the old school does not distinguish between palliative and curative remedies. The old school is of the opinion that palliative remedies have a direct opposite action to the state of the malady. So whatever disease is there, the palliative remedy will be based upon the opposite action. So by giving a palliative remedy based upon the opposite state of action, what happens? At first, it subdues the symptoms, or the symptoms are better for a few hours, but later on it produces an opposite state. Example of disease arising from and attended by debility, opium is given. So he's given an example of opium again, that for cough, the opium is given, the cough subsides, and then again it increases, and the symptoms increase in intensity. The patient goes into a stuporous condition. The physician again increases the dose of opium, and ultimately the patient dies. To it, another remedy is added as a general strengthener. So the remedy is given, a palliative remedy is given on opposite basis, few hours relief is there, and then to it, another remedy is added as a general strengthener, because the first remedy will weaken the condition. In order to combat the weak condition, a remedy which strengthens the action will be given. After the lapse of few hours, it excites the strength and subsequently allows it to sink at all the more deeper. So what happens? Initially, it will excite the strength, but later on, the patient will go into a more stuporous condition. To prevent this situation, another stronger drug and even more stronger dose of opium must be given. So what does the physician do? He increases the dose of opium. Thus, the result is that the drug opium strengthens only in a palliative manner. Its after effects is weakening and increases the sensitivity to pain. So what happens? The drug opium will be a palliative manner. First, it will decrease symptoms, and then it will increase the symptoms. And it will weaken the condition of the patient, ultimately leading to the death of the patient. Now, Brown could recommend universally and without any limitation as a universal and appropriate remedy for all sorts of disease. So, Brown is the Brownian system of medicine invented by Brown. He said that all sorts of remedies could be used for all sorts of diseases, wherein whose character is of weakness, even it be of a most obstinate and chronic character. He who fails to perceive the perfect picture of the dynamicity will never be able to cure the sick. So Brown was of the opinion that he could, without any limitation, cure all the diseases of any sort. And even if the disease is of a weak character and it's most obstinate or even chronic, then Brown said he would be able to cure the disease. But however, he failed to perceive the dynamic nature of the disease, and if only you perceive the dynamic nature of the disease, then only you'll be able to cure the person. The curative drug are the two weapons of the true physician. So therefore, the curative drugs only are the weapons which are useful to combat the disease. They remove the disease permanently and radically. So why are the curative drugs two weapons? Because they remove the disease permanently and radically. It does so by exciting an similar affection to the disease present. So what happens? And similar affection will be excited in the present disease. And the physicians of the old school does not even know their names. So Brunion has given many examples of treating diseases with palliative medicine with poor results. So the Brunion system of medicine, it is given in Organon, 6th edition of Organon, in the footnote about the Brunion system of medicine and how it works and what are its effects. So that's all. I hope you all understood the first, second, and third part. So please do subscribe to my YouTube channel, Homeopathy Super Sessions by Dr. Jagos. It's the channel related exclusively to Organon. I've simplified it for you in a very easy manner in order to understand and remember. Important topics of UG and PG syllabus are covered. To date, it has around 203 videos, important tips how to crack the examinations, viva questions, theory questions, and much more. So please do subscribe to my channel. And if you're old, please do spread the word to other students so that they also benefit. Thank you very much.